Hey everybody, it is Pastor Ben here with you on Teaching Tuesday. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in today. There's a lot going on in our world on this Tuesday. Still dealing with the aftermath of an election, still dealing with a pandemic that continues to get worse and worse. And I'm thankful in these times that we can ground ourselves in a reality that's bigger than those things. And that reality, as I said last week, is that Christ is Lord, Christ is reigning. No matter how much uncertainty happens in the world around us, we're trusting in a God who loves us and that Christ is still Lord and reigning, which for me is encouraging. I hope it is for you. So today I want to turn back to Romans for this Teaching Tuesday, because it'll provide us a little bit of a framework, I think, for the stuff we're going through. So as we do that, I was thinking of what happened in my family over the weekend. My son Malachi is a big football fan, and his college football team is the Miami Hurricanes. Don't know why. My college football team is the NC State Wolfpack. As you can see over here, I've got my Wolfpack 1983 basketball NCAA champions license plate on display. Anyway, Miami and NC State played on Friday night, and thankfully Malachi and the kids were with my parents over the weekend when they played each other, because Miami ended up winning. And I was just thinking, like, you know, how hard it was going to be for Malachi to talk trash to me after that. You know, you're grieving a loss, and to have somebody like rub it in the midst of that is difficult. So I'm guessing that that's how most of us are feeling, probably on a different level than after the election. And Paul here in Romans actually gives us some advice for how to work through that. So let's jump in with Teaching Tuesday. So Romans 12, when we get to Romans 12, remember, Romans is a book that is about God's righteousness. Paul's trying to tell us about how God reigns, and because God is reigning, God is righteous and holy. So when we get to Romans 12, Paul shifts the focus from God's righteousness to how we can be righteous here on earth. And the phrase we've been using throughout this is that Christ became what we are so that we can become what he is. So Romans 12 through 15, Paul is instructing us on how to be righteous, how to live a Christ-like life. And here's some of the things that he says. Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep, live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Do not claim to be wiser than you are. And then a few verses later here in verse 18, if it's possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. And so I realized, you know, in North Carolina, the presidential election was split pretty much 51-49. I mean, it's, you know, about half of North Carolinians voted for Trump, about half voted for Biden. So right now, I mean, there's just a lot of uncertainty in the world as a result of that, and half the people are still weeping, half the people maybe are rejoicing. And I just want to remind you of Paul's words here: rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep, live in harmony with one another. There's just a lot of tension in the air, and so far as it depends on us, we should be folks who live peaceably with all. So let's be in ministry, as I said Sunday. Let's be present with those who are grieving and suffering right now. And if you are rejoicing, then be able to rejoice with those who are rejoicing. My study Bible, as I was looking through this passage, mentions John Wesley's 3 simple rules here, that as we talk about the marks of a Christian life, what it means to be a follower of Jesus in righteousness. And those 3 simple rules are do no harm, do good, stay in love with God. So that's a great reminder for me this week. I'm going to try and live this out. I'm going to try and live peaceably. I'm going to try and rejoice with those who are rejoicing, weep with those who are weeping, to live in harmony with one another, do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. So regardless of where you are, be reminded Christ is reigning. Jesus is Lord, and know that you are a child of God and you are loved. It's great to be with y'all today. Hope to see you soon. Y'all take care.